Welcome to Proclaim, a presentation of the Catholic Diocese of Alexandria. Join us as we journey together through the Scriptures revealed to us by God.
Good morning and welcome to Proclaim. As we've now heard that dramatic ending to the baptism of Jesus with the voice from the heavens declaring that he was his beloved Son and declaring it in the second person, which presumably did have some meaning for Jesus himself. We now have a scene that shifts, and it goes on to talk about the experience of the desert that Jesus will have. At once the Spirit drove him out into the desert, and he remained in the desert for 40 days, tempted by Satan. One of those characteristics that we'll say over and over again in the Gospel of Mark is the immediacy. And so at once is simply one of the ways he does that. Also notice the forceful word, the Spirit drove Jesus into the desert. We're not quite sure what that implies. Was it, in a sense, Jesus' initial unwillingness, or was it simply a way of dramatically saying that the Spirit was truly behind the actions of Jesus, and therefore he is acting as an agent of God in a very unique and special way? It's interesting that we're just told that he's tempted by the devil. That 40-day period would have certainly seemed very familiar to the Jewish readers and Jewish listeners, because they would have thought about the symbolism of the 40 years of the Israelites wandering, where they were also tempted and they succumbed to the temptation. It also occurs many times where 40 is that number that represents a generation. It tends to have a certain completeness about it. And so this complete testing of Jesus is to prepare him, once the revelation of his baptism has taken place, for the ministry that he will now assume.
This program was brought to you by Christus Cabrini Hospital.